Hey guys, I'm Jacob.
And I'm Audrey.
Welcome to our channel, Tumbling into Tutorials. Today we're going to be showing you our warm-up.
So in our warm-up, it has 3 different parts: cardio, dynamic stretching, and static stretching. And all of these parts combine to form the perfect warm-up for gymnastics or any other sport if you're looking for more flexibility. And I personally think that the warm-up is the most important part of any kind of workout because it helps you not get hurt. So
let's get to it.
So we'll begin with some cardio to warm up our muscles, and first we establish 2 points to run in between. We chose those 2 rectangular trash cans, and we run back and forth twice. So once and back is a lap, and then as you can see after that we do 1 lap of butt kickers. So you bring your toes to your butt, and then that helps stretch your hamstrings. And next we're going to do 1 lap of high knees. So try to keep your chest and knees high and do that back. The next thing that we're going to do is karaoke. And that's when you put 1 foot in front and then 1 foot behind, and then kind of add a skip to it. So the next part of our warm-up is dynamic stretching. And dynamic stretching is stretching while you're moving to better ease your muscles into more intense stretching. So the first dynamic stretching that we're going to do is called hand walks. And that's when you take your hands and you put them on the ground next to your feet, or if you can't touch your toes, then you put your hands on the ground as far as you can go, and then you walk out your hands, keeping your feet in the same place and keeping your legs straight the entire time. So next, we're going to do side lunges, and that's when you go into a deep squat and stay in that deep squat the entire time. And then you push one leg to the other side. So one knee is bent, the other is straight, and both toes are pointing forward. Do this 5 times for each leg, so 10 in total. As you can see, Jacob has moved on to his needle kicks, and that's where you keep 1 foot planted, and then the other foot goes straight in the air. Try to keep your toes pointed, and remember that we don't have the ideal needle kick position yet, but we're working up to it. The ideal position is when you have a complete split and nice pointed toes at the top. But you see, everyone starts from somewhere, so just keep that in mind. And then after needle kicks, we're going to move on to some lunges, which we featured in our split video, but we're going to go over it one more time. So lunges, you take your knee in one hand, so you're standing on 1 foot, your knee is pulled into your chest, you drop down to this position where your front knee is at a 90-degree angle and your back leg is straight, making sure your knee is off the ground completely. As you can see, Jacob has his knee on the ground just a little bit, and he fixed it. And then you take your hands, 1 on each side, and rock it back, returning to that lunge position. So again, you take your knee into your chest, drop it down into a lunge, drop your hands or elbows, getting as deep into the stretch as you can, and then you rock back. Do this for 5 times total, and then the next thing you should do is stretch your wrists. So stretching your wrist is super important for gymnastics, especially because you're going to be doing skills that really put a lot of strain on them. So just get on your hands and knees and put your hands in front of you, rock around, put them flat on the ground, rock them around side to side, and then do some circles around. And then the next thing is to stretch your ankles. So stretching your ankles, you should be going down into this position. You can see us here. Making sure to keep your back legs straight and moving your hips up and not forward. So in the top, Jacob purposefully did this wrong to show you guys what moving forward looks like. That is not what the perfect stretch looks like, because you won't be stretching your Achilles. So next we're going to move into the bridge, and that position there, that is, if you don't really have a bridge yet, you could stop, and with knees bent and ankles apart, you could stop and do that. But the ideal position is feet together and you're pushing out, knees straight. Now the next thing is a bridge walk, which many people find difficult, but I think it's very important. So you can either do it from standing like I did, or you could do it from laying down like Jacob did, and you kind of walk like a crab across. So now we're moving on to static stretching, and that's when you get deeper into stretching while you're not moving. So we're doing butterfly, then we're going out to straddle, arms on either side, making sure to stretch both sides, pointed toes. As you can see, Jacob needs to point his toes, but those are all things that we can fix. Next, we're going to go down into the middle, and make sure you try to keep your back flat when you do this, and you might even want to have a friend come and like push your back down just a little bit to see if you can stretch farther. So after that, you want to do your pike stretch, which means your legs are out in front of you straight, toes pointed, and you try to get your body as close to your legs as possible. Then you flex your feet up and pull until you feel a stretch in your calves. And then you're going to move on to the shoulder stretch. So I like to keep my pinkies together and try to slide my shoulders out as far as possible. You can even use your knees to like bring you farther out. So the next part is a hollow body. So this is an ab exercise where you keep only your bottom part of your body on the ground. The rest of it, shoulders, lower back, and feet are all off the ground. You should be looking at your belly button, hands on top of your legs. Hands cannot be under your legs supporting them. This needs to be an ab workout. Hold for 20 seconds and then do 20 crisscrosses.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe our video.
And I hope you enjoyed. Please stay tuned for our cartwheel tutorial coming soon. Bye!